Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. And in this one, I have a really spicy deck to share with you all. Now, I'm sure you may have come across a similar build to this before online, but I wanted to provide a unique take to the deck that I saw on a Japanese website. So basically, if you don't know what this deck is, it plays one basic, which is Delibird. Now, you don't actually want to start the game with Delibird, but it is one of the better basics to put in your deck if you don't have anything else. But yeah, Delibird does have the attack quick gift, which we can use if we have to go first, which is great because it will just help you like actually get properly set up if you want to. But like Delibird is not the most optimal start. No, what you want to do is start the game with Cinderace if possible. So it is worth mentioning though that if you actually have a Cinderace in your hand when you're setting up, there is that thing where like TCG Live will ask you if you want to take a mulligan. Like it'll still give you the option to take a mulligan. So like just be careful. Like always check your hand and make sure you have a Cinderace before you click yes and stuff like that. So yeah, Cinderace has a very powerful ability, Explosiveness, so it can basically just be played down as a basic, which is great because it has a very useful attack Turbo Flare, which does 50 damage, and you get to search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like, which is glorious because we will be accelerating energy to mainly Hydreigon, but we also have Gengar and Tyranitar in this list as well. So Hydreigon EX has 330 HP, 2 attacks, Crashing Headbutt and Obsidian. Both of these do have their own uses. Like Crashing Headbutt is not that bad at all because like if you go first and you have to start with Delibird, then you will probably have to like lead the game with Crashing Headbutt because you're not obviously going to get Cinderace out. So you will have to, focus on using Crashing Headbutt and accelerating energy through things like Crispin, which is also played in this list. So yeah, Crashing Headbutt is pretty good for that reason. And it does also give you a mill option as well. So in the mid to late game, if you want to like try and deck out your opponent, you can always boss stall up some of your opponents more like tankier Pokemon that have a higher retreat cost, and then mill 3 and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, the main appeal, of course, though, is Obsidian, which for a Psychic Dark Metal Colorless does 130 and then also does 130 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So like optimal situation, right? Optimal scenario. You go first, you attach an energy to Cinderace, and then you pass. That's it. You go first. You have to go first with this deck. Then on your second turn, you play a Grimsley's move, and you find Hydreigon, you put it on the bench, and then you use Cinderace's Turbo Flare. So turn 3, you use Obsidian. So like it is a little bit awkward, but it's basically because you can't do it turn 2, thanks to the fact that Grimsley's move cannot be used on your first turn. So like best case scenario, like the most optimal thing that this deck could have had going for it is like if you could use this on the first turn, because then at that point you could go Cinderace, turn 1 going second, Grimsley's move a Hydreigon on the bench, and then do Turbo Flare and get one set up, which is kind of OP. And I understand like why Grimsley's move is not on the first turn of the game, but still a very powerful effect. Also, it searches your deck for a single dark Pokemon, not multiple. So, just be careful in that sense. Like, so even if you see like 3 or 4 dark Pokemon on top of your deck, you will only be able to accelerate one of them onto the bench. So just something worth bearing in mind. As for the other Pokemon, we do have 2 copies of the new Gengar EX. This is in here just to deny your opponent some prize cards. So if any of your dark Pokemon get KO'd by your opponent's Pokemon EX, then they take 1 for your prize cards, which is fantastic because it means Hydreigon is now a 1 prizer that has 330 HP. So yeah, that's quite funny. We also have Tyranitar, which would also give up no prizes in that instance and has 190 HP, and also has a mill attack, which is nice. It's like a mini version of Crashing Headbutt, but also has the ability Daunting Gaze, which is basically just item lock. So yeah, Tyranitar, super annoying. I've not had to use it in games, to be honest, but it is a nice flavoursome inclusion. I wouldn't say it's like crucial to making the deck work. So, if you're struggling as is to put this deck together, then like I wouldn't say Tyranitar is like a crucial piece or whatever, but it is something nice to have. But yeah, as for the trainers, we do have 3 copies of Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Tera Orb because we play so many EXs, like it just makes sense to use Tera Orb. This won't find your Mega Gengars, by the way, but it will find your Hydreigon, which is still super useful because we play Academy at Night, which is like part of like the combo piece. It's not necessarily imperative that you get Academy at Night out, but it does make things so much easier if you do. So once during each player's turn, that player may put a card from their hand on top of their deck. So of course, all you want to do with this is take a Hydreigon out of your hand, put on top of your deck, and then Grimsley's move it straight onto the bench. Or for Gengar, or for Tyranitar, if you want to do that. So yeah, that's what Academy at Night is there for. Now, we don't play any Colress's Tenacity in this deck, but we do play Secret Box. Now, it will cost you 3 other cards from your hand to hit the trash, but it does let you find an item card, a tool card, a supporter card, and a stadium. And because this deck plays a lot of different flexible trainers, like Vessel for energy, Boxed Order for more items, Tera Orb to find Hydreigon, this is like a very useful aspec to have in the deck. So it's just a bit unfortunate you can't obviously like Arvin for Secret Box or Grimsley, play Grimsley. We are not in a double supporter format, but yeah, still a very nice option. So yeah, 4 Grimsley, 4 Lillie for some shuffle draw, especially in the early game, you can need it. 3 Crispin, which is our backup energy acceleration. Like the first Hydreigon, honestly, like if you're able to get that Turbo Flare and your opponent doesn't have much of an answer for it, you'll probably win. If they do, then you will need Crispin to like power up the next Hydreigon, because like this deck obviously slows down a bit after the first few turns, because you'll have to Grimsley's move for the next Hydreigon, then bench it, and then Crispin, and like it takes a little while to get the next one going, but it is there as an option, so it is possible. We've also got Big Air Balloon in this deck, just in case you've never seen this card before in your life. But the stage 2 Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost, which is really nice because a lot of these Pokemon have a very high retreat. Like Hydreigon has 3, Gengar has 2, and Tyranitar has 3. So, Cinderace, thankfully, is a pivot and has 3 retreat, which is great. But the Big Air Balloon just gives you a bit of extra, maneuverability, basically. You could play Air Balloon as an alternative if you don't have Big Air Balloon, but Big Air Balloon is just so much better in this list. Also, the other spicy trainer that's worth bringing up here is actually Boxed Order, which says search your deck for up to 2 item cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you do, your turn ends. So it's quite nice if you have to go first and it's just like, all right, I need certain items, like I need the Secret Box for next turn, like I need to do the Grimsley's play, because like sometimes having Delibird with Quick Gift is not enough. Like it's not bad, but at the same time, like if you're able to Secret Box with the Delibird opening, that's a lot better. So I would just recommend that. Like your opponent could still play Iono, they could still knock you out turn 2 and carry your Delibird and win, but it's kind of a risk that you have to take while playing this deck. I wouldn't necessarily say this is worth building like IRL if you don't have a lot of money, because it's kind of expensive to put together. There's a lot of like EX cards in this deck, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun when it all goes well. And it is, of course, very satisfying to take the 3 prize card turn on turn 3, if it's possible. So, yeah, Hydreigon EX, very, very fun deck. So yeah, let me know what you think about this deck down below. Will you be trying it out? And yeah, thank you for watching. So sadly, we can't really do much in this situation, but at the very least, we did go first. So we are able to, hopefully do the whole Grimsley combo next turn, which it does look like we will be able to do. The only thing we're really missing, though, is an energy, but we can always Secret Box for a Vessel if we have to. So yeah, I think we should be okay, actually. We should be alright. Okay, so there's the 10 damage, that's fine. Hydreigon, no, don't let's draw that. That's definitely not what we wanted. I will Secret Box. We can't actually Crispin this turn, so I could get rid of that, or I could just get rid of Gengar. I think I might get rid of, yeah. I think I'll get rid of these guys actually. So I might want a Crispin, so yeah, I'll get rid of them. I will get a Grimsley. The Vessel's in there, that's good. Probably Energize, and we'll get Academy at night. That's fine. Then I will Vessel away the Energize. So we want to attack them at least. Get these 2, I think. Whack that on there. We will use the Academy. Put Hydreigon on top of the deck. Be able to do the combo now. So yeah, I get that on there. And then there we go. Easy dubs. Yeah, I got the Hydreigon down. And we can Turbo Flare away. Psychic Dark Metal, please. And then at this point, we're just like eyeing up an Obsidian play for next turn. And that's really all we need to do. For argument's sake, like I could have maybe ditched Tera Ball and kept around Pokégear to try and like Grimsley again. But honestly, we're just eyeing up that double prize if they don't, like, you know, save their board state, basically. But I think it's definitely doable, right? We knock out this, and then we kill these two. That's the plan. Can we do it, though? Are they going to let us do it? Do they have Red Candy Gengar? Would kind of suck if they did. Not gonna lie. No Shaman, please. No Shaman. You do not play Shaman. Alright, that's a Poffin. Okay, Poffin keeps him in the game. Poffin will keep them in the game for another turn. Right. Please do not concede before I do this. I want at least one of these on camera because it is glorious. Ah, that's great. Yeah, it took us a little bit, but we got there. Dark Energy for sure. Skadoosh. Knock out that. And you know what? We will knock out... will we knock out that one? I mean, they might be able to retire with Seviper, but Seviper's fine. We don't care about Seviper. Just knock out all the Ghastlies. Get rid of them all. Easy dubs. Easy dubs. And just like that, 3 prizes. Took us like 3 turns to get there, but it's cool. We got the Obsidian. Yep. Glorious. Glorious. That's what you want to see.